Yes! Go on, lads and lasses. Welcome back to 100% Mags. And Newcastle have done it. We have went to Villa Park and we have come away victorious against the Villains. This is a game I was really excited for, and I was really hoping Newcastle United would get the positive result in, and we've done it. The first team this season to go to Villa Park and pick up all 3 points and come away from that ground where, of course, Villa have been doing some fantastic stuff this season, and we have went there tonight down to Villa Park in what could only be described as a pretty horrible time for Newcastle fans to try and get back from Villa Park. I mean, 8:15 kickoff, that is an absolute joke for the travelling supporters going down to the game, but they got their reward. Us Newcastle United fans, the travelling supporters travelling down to that ground, got the reward, of course. And I mean, what a game it was tonight. I've got to say, what a fantastic game. All of the Newcastle United lads had some brilliant tactical moves tonight by Eddie Howe to pull out a result against Aston Villa. Of course, we already did it this season at St James's Park, 5-1 win. We almost made it another 5-1 win tonight. Of course, the game ending 3-1. But what a fantastic game it was. We're seeing Fabs get on the score sheet twice in the game, almost 3 times in the game. I mean, he's a centre-back. You don't see many centre-backs, going up the field and doing what Fabian Shaw did tonight. Almost scoring a hat-trick in the game. It's a credit to the ability, of what Fabs has got. Fabs is just a one-of-a-kind player, and, I'm just really happy to see the lad enjoying his game, and getting in the scores sheet as well for that game tonight. That was absolutely fantastic. The Swiss Superman does it again. He was just absolutely amazing for us once again. Unfortunate, however, for Alexander Isak, he ended up obviously going off with what looked to be some sort of hamstring injury by the looks of it. Hopefully, it's just a precautionary substitution there. Hopefully, it's not as bad as it did look. We don't need any more players being injured, I've got to say. Of course, the goal, the third goal in the game that was scored by, where of course was in off an own goal from Alex Moreno. Should have possibly been Murphy's goal, but I'll give it at the end of the day down as an own goal because it was going back in towards play. So, Alex Moreno scoring the own goal there to make it 3-1 for Newcastle. Ollie Watkins pulling just a goal back in the game for Aston Villa. I feel, in my honest opinion, I don't think Ollie Watkins should have been on the field for what he was doing in the game. I mean, some of the stuff that he was doing in that game tonight was absolutely disgusting play from Ollie Watkins, and I think he should have been seeing his marching orders. Another player for Aston Villa tonight that I think should have seen his marching orders as well was Zoma, I believe it's called. He was absolutely horrible in the game as well tonight. Many times he went in on Newcastle players. I think it was 4 or 5 times he went in on with players, and then eventually picking up a yellow card. He should have possibly been very close to getting his marching orders as well. But all in all, the result that we got is what we wanted. We wanted to get that result tonight down at Villa Park, pick up a win where nobody's been able to pick up a win this season, and of course climb back up the table into a very, very beautiful position of 7th place that allows us to assault the rest of what is left of this season with some very winnable games coming up as well. We've got Luton next. Then we've got, of course, I believe it's Nottingham Forest after this game as well. But some very winnable games ahead for us. Aston Villa, of course, because they lost that game tonight, they do lose a little bit of ground on catching up to league leaders Liverpool. They remain, of course, in the 4th spot. However, Aston Villa 5 points behind Liverpool, playing, of course, more games, haven't played more games, of course, and We are still 9 points adrift of Aston Villa in the battle to secure our place in next season's Champions League. Like I say, however, if we don't make it to the Champions League next season, I'll be happy to see, Newcastle get maybe Europa League, even Conference League. I'll take a Conference League spot if we have to have it. At the end of the day, it's still Europe. It then allows we, to be able to concentrate our mindset on the league and the cups as well. So let's see, what happens at the end of the day. But again, another fantastic game, for Newcastle. Back-to-back games as well now. We had a fantastic game on Saturday, of course, in the FA Cup against Fulham down at Craven Cottage. Coming into this game very strong, we did. And, of course, we just, did what we do best, go out there and put in the minutes, put in the hours out there on the fields, and we got the result that was rightfully deserving of our performance in the game tonight. And credit to all the lads, credit to, of course, Eddie Howe and the coaching team for their work on the training pitch, of course, to get this result tonight in the game. And credit to Fabian Schär as well for the 2 fantastic goals that he scored in the game. Like I say, you don't see many centre-backs getting on the score sheet even once in a game, let alone twice and almost 3 times as well. Fabian Schär got on the score sheet tonight. But just before we end off the stream, of course, there's one comment down in the comments, of course, below from Michael Clark. What a win for Newcastle United, for the team and the fans. Well said, Michael, mate. Well said. What a fantastic result it was tonight, and a result we definitely needed. Like I say, however, on the Alexander Isak side of things, hopefully it's not as bad as it looks. And Martin Dubravka as well did pick up a bit of a knock. He ended up having some strapping on his leg to continue on the game. So hopefully that one as well isn't as bad as it looked in the game. But we'll, find out in time. We've got the game coming up against Luton, not that long way. So, I'll give you an update if I hear anything on that one, of course. But till next time, I'll see you all for the next one. However, lads.